Hi, I'm Lynn Glazier. Teens today are growing up on a steady diet of degrading music, reality TV that's far from real, porn on the internet, a clothing industry pushing everything skimpy, and the example of young stars and celebrities famous for behaving badly. The teen world is so saturated with messages to be sexually provocative and to disrespect others that it's seen as a ticket to acceptance at a time where being accepted is so vital. Some girls plaster their Facebook pages with sexy pictures of themselves. They post raunchy videos of dancing on YouTube and send explicit texts to both boys and girls. Some boys feel it's fine to type things like "show me your boobs" or "slut" or "you're so gay" in online chats with friends. Some are even bold enough to go up to girls in the hallway and slap them on the bum. A recent York University study shows that 90% of teens think that they adopt the values from the media they consume. Another 80% of teens report that they've experienced sexual harassment by the time they graduate high school. Yes, they'll tell you this is all acceptable. It's really what being cool is about these days. Dissing, fondling, and sexual gossip are just part of being a teenager, they say. So is it any wonder there seems to be a growing culture of sexual harassment among our youth today? I approached my new documentary, It's a Teen's World, Wired for Sex, Lies, and Power Trips, like a social experiment. I wondered, if you gave kids an authentic voice and a sense of authorship, would they be able to slow-mo this bombardment of degrading images and messages, really think about their behavior and change it? And I can tell you that they met the challenge, and I was very, very impressed with how candid and truthful they were about their feelings. I also think that they represent what most kids live with today. Most of them are observers, not perpetrators. They see things happening. They're exposed to the sexual stereotypes, and they're trying to figure out what it means and how to navigate it. The role of personal technology in all of this can't be overstated. Laptops, smartphones, social networking, all of it is redefining the idea of the internet predator. Rather than some anonymous creep, the online harassment of a teenager might be coming from somebody who is in their school, somebody they know, somebody who might even be sitting right next to them in class. Not enough kids appreciate that the 562 friends, so-called friends, that they have on Facebook are not really their true friends, and they have no control what these people can do with their personal information. We didn't grow up socializing through devices, and teens today, I think, are developing a very warped sense of themselves in the virtual world. Facebook is not a personal diary or a private photo album. Applications such as Honesty Box and Bathroom Wall are not harmless sounding boards. Texting is not meaningful conversation. And all of these are really open to this and other abuses. When teens use technology as a place to express themselves, they must remember that this is a public space. Just ask them, what reputation do you really want to have? Is what you're putting out there really serving you well? Fitting in is a prime directive for all kids. And of course, adolescence is a search for identity. Who am I as a person? What do other people think of me? Where do I fit in? Am I part of the group? Am I an outsider? Of course, Teens aren't answering these questions with adult wisdom, maturity, and life experience. You know that independence doesn't mean being slavish to what your friends want you to do or what the rules of popular culture are, but teens don't. If a girl decides to wear a skimpy outfit to a dance, for example, and expose a lot of skin, she might be thinking to herself, I'm really hot. This is a really fashionable outfit and I hope the guys notice. But a guy might be thinking to himself, wow, here's an engraved invitation, I'm going to tap that. If this is not the kind of attention that the girl wants, she needs to say so clearly. And boys need to understand that no means no anytime it's said, even after a few yeses. And that's not just my opinion, that is the law in Canada. Crossing the line happens when it's not comfortable for you. So ask kids to really carefully consider what their comfort zone actually is. I know that a lot of kids would rather put an axe through their heads than discuss something like sexual pressures with their parents or teachers, but they need to be equal partners in this conversation. And adults do have an important role to help kids see a little bit more clearly what's working for them and what isn't, and what to do about that. There's no resource that I personally know of in Canada quite like It's a Teen's World. It addresses the issues of sexual harassment and sexual pressures and all of the things that influence that in a teen's life, no matter who you are, what your background is, whether you live in a town or a big city. If you visit the website www.itsateensworld.com, you'll find a lot of resources to help you. An interactive quiz about sexual pressures, a lot of helpful websites and books on the topic. You will find user and discussion guides to the feature film and 3 interactive classroom modules which can be found on a DVD. I really hope that you will consider using these resources in your schools and start this very, very important conversation with your students. Thanks so much for your time today.